Hello and welcome to June's Weekly Roundup, the new series where I talk about new albums I've heard that came out this week and albums that were released earlier this year that I've only now got to check it out. I'm trying this new video format out this year because there are so many albums that I listen to and I want to talk about every week, but because I have less time to make videos recently because of college, other interests, and work, I don't have as much time as I used to in order to make a ranking video for each and every one of them. Instead, I'll give quick reviews for them in a hopefully weekly series, and I really hope that you all will enjoy this new review format. Starting with the most interesting week for new releases, though that's to be expected with the start of the new year. In the next few weeks we'll see more new albums released, though we still have a couple big projects to get through this week. Starting off with one that actually did not drop in 2023, but literally the day before the new year. Okay, it's been a while since the last Fiji project. I remember the 2018 album Lost, but since then he's only put out new singles. And this album is kind of a collection of singles actually. There are only like 3 or 4 new tracks. The other songs are all singles that he released throughout 2022, and it's alright. Okay, there are some nice experiments coming from Fiji into other styles of chill music that he hasn't really ventured in that much before, like the faster-paced Mind Racer and the ambient-leaning A Second Wind. However, most of the songs here are just more of just the same, and his style hasn't really evolved that much compared to his peers. It's still pretty much the same sort of vocal chops that he uses, the same sort of down-tempo or garage production, compared to Direct and Carbon that have really experimented with more genres recently. Plus, there are some less than great production choices in a few of those songs, like the percussion, the build-up in Flutter, and whatever the hell Gal is. That song was weird. I don't think I like that one. Still, there were some good highlights in this album, especially the songs Dork and Cries for Help that I've added to my personal playlist. However, the rest of the album didn't really do that much for me. If you like classic Fiji, you might find something here, but I'd still recommend his earlier work. Alright, so this compilation I actually got sent early to make a review video about, but I don't feel like making ranking videos recently, so here's a review of that compilation by new to up-and-coming labels, Lightroom and Bonde, with All Stars Volume 1, and honestly I don't really know many of the artists here. They're pretty much all new artists to me to discover. And the ideas in here are rather nice. There are some interesting ideas here with some potential, but the execution is maybe a bit iffy at places. Mostly one big example of iffy execution would be with Volan's Carniceria, which has some promising drum and bass parts that I could get into, but also a very fuzzy rock part with drum mixing that kind of sounds like it got recorded on like GarageBand or something, or through a phone. It doesn't sound all that great compared to the drum and bass parts, and the off drops are oddly silent, which it just doesn't make for the best experience. But still, I see potential in this, and they're all newer artists, smaller artists that are just starting to make some songs, so I don't really want to be too harsh on them, and honestly I will still seek out a lot of their music in the future because I do think they have potential to become even better artists and have some better sound design in the future. However, I don't want to only mention negatives. I do also want to highlight a few songs, mostly Frezzy's There's Still Hope, which has a very lovely euphoric melodic dubstep breakdown at the end of the song, and SCHBWP's DNBA's 4, which has a very nice former hero-esque vibe to the song that I do quite enjoy. So honestly, I see the potential here. nice compilation, but not something that I would really return to. That's all. Now, Kinoteki is a name that I knew about for quite a little time, but I've only checked out a few of their songs, especially the one on Imprint for Charity that I did quite enjoy, a collaboration with Kelvin. So this was the first album that I've heard from this producer, and it's honestly quite good. Though it was a bit chaotic for my personal tastes, though it was still a very lovely blend of house, future bass, hardcore, breaks, breakcore, and intelligent dance music. Of course, the highlights here are the speed house leaning Helium Dreams has some fantastic melodies and energy. And contrast with that, we have the chill and vibey In My Mind that comes up right after. That's also quite great. I do quite enjoy this. I don't think I'll return to this album that much, but so far, probably my favorite album of 2023, though I think next week there might be a contender for that title. Metaroom's debut album. I've known Metaroom for just a few months. I was intrigued by the album art for the single Embryoglyph. I really do love that album art, so I checked out the song and I did really like it. So yeah, this was a single for this album actually, so I decided to check this out, and it was a nice experimental blend of breakcore, future bass, intelligent dance music, and Igloo Ghost-esque, energetic and wonky sound design heavy music. However, the whole album doesn't really stick with me. There are a few individual songs that I do love here, but as a whole listen, it's not entirely my thing, but it has some really good stuff. I will mention that, and it's still a very fun project, and I recommend it for anyone that's into Igloo Ghost wonky style. The highlights are the single Embryoglyph and the deep cut My Escape, which has some really cutesy and lovely vocal chops and melodies. I really love that song actually. Check it out. Alright, AIKA's second studio album is more ambitious than the first one, and it tries to build more of a storyline. However, I'm mostly going to focus on the actual songs here, and the production, it's a bit all over the place at times. Some more negative examples of that are on the Camellia-like Calamity Rhapsody, and the weird drop progression in Starry-Eyed Dreamer, which I just did not enjoy. It just sounded weird. And there were some songs that were also brought down because of their sheer crushing length. Like for example, Other Side did not need to be 6 minutes long. With like the first 2 drops all within the first 3 minutes, I was kind of thinking, okay, that's the entire song. But oh wait, there's still 3 minutes left. And it's like the same exact thing, but another 3 minutes. Alright, but like, I don't think it was a good choice to actually have this drag for this one. I'll just be honest. And honestly, same thing goes for Ouroboros, which is a nice orchestral leaning song, probably one of my favorites here, but it being 7 minutes and not really progressing to something truly cathartic or climactic was a bit underwhelming. Still, it was a nice effort, but not one I'm really impressed by nor willing to return to, except for maybe on Fading, which is a nice little blend of drum and bass, rock, and orchestral music. I did quite enjoy this song. And last but not least, we got the big release of the week, Mousetrap's We Are Friends Volume 11. I did mention that I didn't think I would make a review for this album in my Anti-Sec versus Rumble review video, but hey, since I was trying out this review format, I decided to still give a quick review, and point still stands that this compilation is a bit weak and kind of just continues the streak of We Are Friends compilations just not really hitting their full potential. Though there are more excellent songs here than usual on those compilations, I will highlight Again, the 9-minute prog house jam that is XYZ by deadmau5, the energetic and fast-paced drum and bass banger Never Enough by Bensley, the funky Daft Punk inspired synth-pop track with Another Day by Lamorne, and the future rave meets prog house All I Need by Morgan Madison. However, there were still many disappointing tracks. I will mention the empty and grating Club Slayer by Eddie, the rap meets dance music crossover that is Anti-Sac by deadmau5 and White Cracker, the psytrance and attempt at a drum and bass song from Starseed with 1111, and God, fuck this song, fuck you, fuck this song. There were also a lot of techno filler that just didn't really go anywhere and bored me to sleep. And yeah, there are some solid gems to be found here, but you have to dig deep in a sea of filler tracks to find them. I will say the singles absolutely carry, except the Lupa one. That one was really boring. Yeah, it's also not the best material by most artists here. They have better to offer, but you know, I'll still give this a pass because it does have a lot of really great songs and they make up for a lot of filler. So yeah, that was this week. Not many new albums, but again, it's the first week of the year. It's kind of expected. Alright, so I hope you like this video. Let me know if you like this kind of format for quick reviews, and I'll see you all in the next video. So yeah, bye bye.